What's up, guys? Carter here. So I am recording this intro after the fact. What you're about to watch are my ManaTraders series first 10 matches. I'm not going to spoil how I did, but this is the exact 75 I played in those 10 matches. I've been playing this red-green Gruul deck for the past couple days. I'm 18-2 in leagues. The deck feels absolutely disgusting. If you'll notice, this is very similar to the Obosh lists that were going around when Companions first came out, and even the predecessors before it was Ponza. They played a lot more land destruction type spells, but this new version of the Gruul deck is more mid-rangey. It's very efficient, very fast. I am a big fan of the deck, and is what I am going to be playing in any big events that are coming up for the foreseeable future. None of them live, of course. Everything is online. But there's a Super PTQ this Sunday. There are the challenges both Saturday and Sunday, and I'm going to be playing some version of Gruul for those events. I just wanted to go over the deck real fast before going into the matches. You play 8 mana ramp cards with the goal of playing some powerful 3-drop on turn 2 every game. This is your goal, your dream scenario is playing an Arbor Elf or Utopia Sprawl, and then playing something like a Klothys, which is an absolute house in basically every single matchup, or you just Blood Moon, and sometimes Blood Moon just wins the game for you, period. Or pillaging their first land is also very powerful, puts them very far behind while you're giving yourself time to play your other larger threats. Whether it be you need to get to turn 4 to play Bloodbraid Elf to try to cascade into one of your very powerful 3-drops, or you just want to buy time to Glorybringer and just win the game. But the nice thing about not having to play Obosh is you get to play 2-drops, which extends the range of keepable hands in the deck. So now you don't always have to mulligan to one of these 8 mana dorks. Instead, you can keep a hand with a 2-drop, whether it be Scavenging Ooze or Wrenn and 6, or relying on your removal of the Stomp half of Bonecrusher Giant and Lightning Bolt to get you to that turn 3 where you have a powerful 3-drop play. The deck is very efficient, even though all of these cards are 3 mana, and normally you think of Modern as being more so it hinges on 1 to 2 mana cards. These 3 mana cards are so powerful and so impactful that it allows you to actually gain a lot of tempo as you play the game and as the game goes forward. If your opponent stumbles and isn't able to respond to something very well, they just kind of die and they stumble. And they just, as soon as they stumble once, it becomes an insurmountable. The real powerhouse in the deck is Seasoned Pyromancer. This card gives the deck so much staying power between the discard 2, draw 2 effect, but you're not always discarding cards from him. If you play Seasoned Pyromancer empty-handed, it is a 2/2 that draws 2 cards, and if it dies, you can exile it for 5 mana and make 2 1/1s. It gives you a lot more staying power in the deck, on top of the fact that the deck top decks very well. Between Scavenging Ooze, Klothys, the Seasoned Pyromancer, Bloodbraid Elf to hit these other powerful 2 and 3 drops, and Chandra and Glorybringer are just very good top ends. Glorybringer very hard to kill in the format. Fatal Push is premier removal in the format, does not kill Glorybringer. Very, very relevant as decks like Jund run around. They have to have Assassin's Trophy or they're just going to die. Looking at the sideboard, this is the one thing that I've been tweaking here and there. And Dredge is a really bad matchup, so that's why these Grafdigger's cages sit here. Combo in general, Cindervines does really well against, like Storm. Like against Storm, you have a lot of hate between Grafdigger's Cage and Cindervines. But you also have a suite of removal between Abrupt Decay and Anger of the Gods. Handle decks like Humans, Goblins. All the red decks, you need this extra removal so that you can survive. Against Burn specifically, Kitchen Finks is very powerful. And you have some tools for the control and mid-range decks between Veil of Summer, Thrun. Thrun is a powerhouse in those matchups. And this extra Scavenging Ooze that comes in almost every matchup, it seems like. The card is just all around a very good Magic card, and it's very effective. And it's a nice 15th card to round up the sideboard to allow you to marginally improve in every single matchup. The deck is very powerful. If you are new to Modern and you're looking to get into it, this deck is not very difficult to play. It is very straightforward. You just slam your 3 and 4 drops, you slam all your red green cards that you draw, and typically they just get there because they're so powerful and they're so impactful on the board. That's enough talking about the deck, and you're going to watch me play 5 matches in the ManaTraders series, and yeah, see how the deck actually performs in my thought process in every single matchup and how I approach every single one. And especially pay attention to the mulligan decisions. Typically, the hard rule is going to be you want a 1-drop into a 3-drop, or you have to have a 2-drop. You have to make sure you're curving out. You can't keep a handful of 3-drops. But the discussion of whether to keep or mull is the most important part of the deck. Yeah, I hope you all enjoy watching these matches. Alright. Our first ManaTraders match of this July series. And this hand is pretty good, so I'm going to keep it. Hopefully our Arbor Elf doesn't die, but that's just always the hope. A Pluto Delta and a Mishra's Bauble. It's probably playing against Death Shadow would be my guess. It's going to be pretty telling if they like shock themselves. Yeah. Well, they didn't shock themselves, so I don't think we're against Shadow. Against some funky stuff, I guess. Shadow in 2020. Yeah, Shadow. I don't think they're on Shadow because I think they just would have shocked themselves. So I'm not sure. Urza or whatever? Not really. Astrolabe really hurt that deck a lot. The Astrolabe ban. I mean, they could be on like some like weird Lurrus midrange deck. But those decks haven't existed in a hot minute. Interesting? I'm not sure what happened there. GG, that's what happens. Might be a weird inverter list. Our opponent did a whole lot that game, didn't they? Land double bubble go. Pass, Blood Moon die. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's unfortunate, right? You keep a 1-lander and then you see no land off the top, so then you fetch and then you just don't draw a land off the top 3 cards. It's unfortunate, but that is also life. Might be a weird inverter list. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I've played against that. Not a very good matchup for them, but I know what you're talking about. So they play blue-black, so Veil of Summer seems good. So is Thrun. Haven't seen them with balls, but it doesn't mean this one. Right. I mean, not really sure what our opponent is on, so I don't really know how to gauge how to sideboard. I mean, I know we want these. Might be fine just like the trim principle, because if they're playing like Dash out of Bolt's not that good. You gotta love the free Blood Moon wins. Oh, for sure. Like when they happen, it's just like, well, okay. I don't know, like if they're a Lurrus deck, I don't want to take out too many bolts. Against like Death Shadow, I don't mind taking them out though, because it doesn't actually kill any creatures. Like it helps kill them, but it doesn't kill creatures. I want to keep in the Blood Moons and the Pillages. I mean, like, Glorybringer is not easy for them to kill. I mean, I guess they probably have Drown in the Lock as a removal spell, though, so they can kill it kind of easily. I just don't want to get, like, Mana Leaked a bunch. Which we just don't know what they're playing, so this is all estimation. Like, Veil of Summer just seems good. Throne also just seems good. This is very just like not sure what our opponent's doing, so we're hedging a bit on what we're taking out. I can get behind this. If they take Utopia Sprawl turn 1 and we don't draw a second land, it's gonna suck, but the odds of that sequence are not crazy. I mean, them having discard spell is not unreasonable, but us not drawing a second land and them having discard spell is a little different. So I'm gonna keep it. Dark Slick Shores. If I was on the play, I guess if I was on the play, I would keep this hand probably because it's just the Renin 6 makes it keepable. Like, I very much understand that this hand's risky, but I think it's worth. If I was them, I would have just gotten greedy and taken the Utopia Sprawl. Unless they have a way to counter this. But if they have a way to counter it, then they should probably have just not cared about Blood Moon. Do they have a way to deal with Renin 6 out of my hand? They're playing Bug. Well, my Utopia is probably about to get Abrupt Decayed. Or not. So they're playing Bug. So they have like Midrange, Uros, etc. Maybe Goyf, maybe not. Goyf seems like could go either way. They really don't want to get Blood Moon. They know about this, right? What? So I can plus and get back a land and use the Bolt and guarantee the Chandra, but I think I would rather just guarantee the 2-for-1 here because we drew the land. Because they can spend an Abrupt Decay on the run all day, I don't really care. The classic Dark Slick Shores Castle of Lock deck. It's all part of the master plan to let them shock into red source and then tar fire your run. I think I stomp them. I'm gonna stomp them. If they don't play a creature this turn, I just want to be able to cast my Bone Crusher Giant. If I don't draw a land. I think they have a counter spell, which makes me almost not want to cast the Chandra. I'm not sure what they could have, but then they're empty-handed, which is probably just good for us. The point of damage could also be valuable, but they could also just draw a removal spell, and I don't want them to be able to use a removal spell. On this and strand this in my hand, so I am gonna cast the Chandra here. I'm gonna grab a basic mountain. Yeah, let's grab a basic mountain. I want double red, and there's no guarantee that we... I mean, we got pretty lucky to draw lands off the top, and our opponent has made some questionable plays. Do they have Drown to lock? Disdainful Stroke? It makes sense to bring in, I just... Okay. So if we had played the Bone Crusher Giant, they would have just gotten super screwed. Oh, that's pretty good. Drawing like hot fire off the top. Nice green source. Dude, what is this? Snap Decay? Sure. Do I even bother attacking? Because I kind of want, if I draw a land, I want to bolt the Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, I'm not gonna attack. I don't want, I'd rather bolt the Snapcaster and get to attack in completely with the Bloodbraid. No way. Okay, I was gonna say. The top of our deck has been very good, but we also put ourselves in a spot where drawing a land was good and drawing a spell is good, so... That's the only way they have a chance this game. They have to draw a basic forest, though. Not enough anymore. Well, I draw a basic forest, then I can attack with both creatures and they'll die. Alright. That was match 1. Pretty easy one. Here for round 2 after easy round 1 win. And this hand is straight gasoline. Pretty easy keep. Temple Garden. I did not expect that. If they're playing the Devoted Druid combo, we might have some issues if they have the combo in hand. We can't stop it right now. Because we were on the draw. We can't play Chandra on turn 2. Okay. Not exactly sure what's happening. I might season Pyromancer and set up a board so that I can Chandra. Because I'm not sure that pillaging a land is really going to do anything. They have 3 mana right now. They'll untap and have 4 anyways. I mean, if I Pyro and discard Elf Pillage, I think that's fine. Then I have 4 blockers. I have a Chandra. I have Glorybringer coming the turn after, because there's probably no chance that they can kill Chandra. Yeah, I'm gonna Pyromancer so that we can make our next turn better. Whew. Top of our deck is fire. The pillage just doesn't have much value because they Renegade Rally the extra land. If they didn't do that and they played like a Kitchen Finks or something, I would be more fast to pillage. And all we did was draw gas off the top, so I'll take it. This is a Vanifar deck. That's my guess, is that they have Vanifar stuff in their deck. Based off the Hollowed Fountain with Renegade Rallier. Because I don't think a Bant Company deck is playing Rallier. I guess they could be Soul Herder. I'm just gonna take the damage. I want to use my Pyromancer into Elementals as chump blockers. I'm not taking much more damage from lands this game. You know, I only have to fetch basics from now on. I have these chump blockers. Interesting. I wonder what this is. They neoform Noble Hierarch to get Wall of Blossoms? What? Dude, this guy's living in like a different year. Like, I don't even... Do they have Spell Queller in their deck? If they have Spell Queller and we Chandra, it's not great. I think they have a Spell Queller. It's the only way this makes sense to me. I mean, even if this turn... I mean, what else could they have in their hand? They shock themselves? If it's a Spell Queller, I want to get it out of their hand, I think. I could also Ren in 6. And then hold up Stomp. Which I think that's fine. I'd rather them... Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that actually. Let's see what they do. I'd rather them Spell Queller Ren in 6 than Chandra. Because I can't kill a Spell Queller. Okay. I really didn't expect that. I'm just gonna hold up the Stomp. I don't... Like, this is very easy to handle. Unless I'm supposed to kill so that they can't neoform. I guess that's relevant. They might have Ephemerate or some nonsense. Use Snap Block because they seem to be a creature combo. I mean, not necessarily. They, like, if there's... I don't know. I don't know that my life total matters. Like, I was valuing Chandra really highly, but... What's up, Sam? How's it going, man? Okay. Well, now we can attack with stuff again. I kind of want to kill the wall. Well, I guess I'll see if they counter this first. The issue is if they have Ephemerate, I don't want them to. Chilling down Tennessee on vacation. Nice. How's this deck? I think this deck, the deck's really good, dude. I've gone on a tear the past 2 days with it. I think they have an Ephemerate, which means I don't... I guess I want to force them to use it, but then they're like, I'm giving them free value to draw 2 cards. I really hoping to draw a land that turn so we could double spell. I don't think there's a way they're getting to devotion count. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I don't really think so. They path, okay. I mean, I'm actually very fine with them pathing. I think I played that turn very wrong. Because if I attack first and they path, then I get to kill the wall. In Modern. Our opponent's just playing some weird stuff. I hope Tennessee's fun. Yeah, I've got an 18-2 the past 2 days. With this thing. But what I've noticed about the ManaTraders matches is that they're just always some like weird jank stuff. I feel like I never play against anything meta. They change the format of the ManaTrader stuff every week. That's why it's this now. They already played a land for a turn, so they can't actually cast the Rallier. I think they're gonna get back. If they get back Path here, it's not the best. Okay, so we can't cast Glorybringer anymore. Okay. So we have access to 7 mana this turn. We're definitely gonna be plussing Chandra this turn. Let's kill off... Well, this is rough, because I can't really kill the planes, because then during their turn, they'll just, like, Thassa, Blink. So maybe I just have to attack with the elementals first. And see what they do. Because they might trade off. But if they don't trade off, it's not good for us, right? I mean, them going to 9 is pretty low. And they're not going to be able to kill the Chandra. Like, there's no way for them to kill the Chandra. I mean, I'm fine with this. Like, 9 is not a lot of life. And this is going to severely limit their ability to do anything. I mean, they can path their own creature, but then I think that we're in a good spot. I'm not going to pillage here. I want to pressure their life total with this Clothis. And I don't mind trading off Arbor Elf. Okay, that's fine. They don't have white mana over anymore. Like, they don't have white mana up. But they can tap down our creature using Thassa. They're gonna get back Noble Hierarch, Wall of Blossoms, okay. Let's nab. It's a Force of Negation. So we have access to 8 mana here. I actually don't want to add any more Devotion to the board, because then they can path Clothis, and I don't want them to do that. Well, they can't path Clothis if I kill the planes. Yeah, so they'll tap down Glorybringer, and I'll get to attack with Clothis. They'll chump block, but that's fine. Well, they can just blink the Rallier and get back the planes. So I guess that doesn't work out very well. Unless I'm finding a way to kill the Rallier. I think I'm gonna pillage the island. And then tick up mana. No. It's hard not being able to play anything. I feel like I can't cast anything. Is then the Clothis will die. Just getting it past feels so bad. Because they'll chump block with Wall of Blossoms without any fear. I think I just do this. And then... pillage the plains and pass. Yeah, because I just can't cast... I can't turn on the devotion for this. It'll kill me. And they're taking 2 a turn this way. It's not like it's nothing. And this forces them to use this turn to get back up basic planes. Fine. No, I don't want to cast it. And we will just pass again. They have to kill Chandra and Klothys this turn. I guess all they need is a creature to gain life. I don't know what that is in terms of their deck, but it would probably cost them a lot of mana, which would allow us to Glorybringer, potentially. That's a lot of life. That is a lot of life. They can also kill Blood Moon if they care. But I think they should just gain 9. Down tick Chandra. No, because of Thassa. They can spend 4 mana to tap the creature. So I cast Glorybringer and they tap down the Glorybringer. And then I'm SOL. I mean, this is disaster because they just drew like... Their draw to Quaddle and their draw step were the perfect 2. Like, we never get to actually attack with Glorybringer. Yeah. I mean, we still, like, all it takes is us drawing a lightning bolt right here. So, like, a reminder, their hand is... They have a path in their hand, which is a part of the reason why we're having all these problems. We just can't cast Glorybringer. Like, we can cast it, but it's just gonna die. I think I'm going to offer... I'm gonna have to offer up our... our Colossus to gain path, though. In order to protect Chandra. Sure. I don't know. Their top two cards were the only things that could save them, I think. I'm not really sure what that does for us, if anything. I guess it just adds more to the board, which is valuable. I also think we just have to kind of deal 2 to them. Or I guess we hope to hit something. Oh wait, we can't hope to hit something because we can't cast Cascade because of the Teferi. Their top 2 cards were just perfect, which makes things so hard. Because if they didn't have both Knight and Teferi, I don't think they could win. Oh, their Thas is a creature now. It's kind of spooky. Okay. I guess they know they're gonna get to go up to 6 here, so... Or 5. But they're gonna tap down this elemental, yeah. Hey, are we just dead on board? No. Go to 1. This is annoying to lose this game. I guess we could have played it differently, but still. Oh, we drew the bolt a turn too late. Really? I guess... Man. If we drew the bolt last turn, we win. Because they chose to kill Blood Moon instead of gain life. I guess I bolted to Fairy, and then I Bloodbraid Elf, and I hope to hit the nuts. There are 2 bolts in a row. That's so unfortunate. Man. How unfortunate, man. I think I'm dead, right? They tap down these 2, I block here and here, and I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm not dead. I mean, I'm basically dead, right? Because they're gonna gain 4 more and go up to 6. So I would have to draw Seasoned Pyromancer into Double Bolt. I feel like it's very likely I had a shot at winning the game and I blew it at some point. Oh, they Fate Sealed? That's ugly. Hopefully they put it on the bottom. Okay, so we're not... We have an out. We had to draw Seasoned Pyromancer into Double Bolt. I'm not really gonna get my hopes up because there's only 2 bolts left in the deck. I think that's gonna be game. I go to 2 and they have, well, is it game? They tap down 2 creatures, they bounce 1. So I have 2 creatures left, so I can go block, block, or block, block, and I die. That was unfortunate. We almost got there, but their rips off the top on that last possible turn they had were just insane. That was pretty brutal. Ooze seems really good against them. The issue with Anger in this matchup, even though it kills everything they have, it wipes our own board, which is, I think, a problem. I think Pillage is garbage. So maybe a Braid instead. Unless there's also the chance I'm just supposed to keep in Pillage. It's bad against Renegade Rallier, but it's good against everything else in their, like, any other draw in their deck, because their deck's really clunky. And their cards are expensive. But I have to have a way to kill, like, Soul Herder type stuff. Maybe I am supposed to just Anger. Because wiping our own board is really rough. So what, we would shift into, like, a control-y role, which I don't think works out very well. It's probably not good. I just don't think Pillage cuts it. Oh, wait. So what, this stops well, kind of Renegade Rallier. But that's it? It doesn't actually stop anything else. I mean, it stops Neoform, but that's a small part of their gameplay. I'd rather just kill it with a Braid. Yeah, like, I think the way we might wind up winning these games is killing their creatures off and getting damage in with early creatures of our own. I think Angering is not the move because they'll just wipe our own board. Maybe on the draw, but not on the play. I like this hand a lot. I'm not gonna bolt an elf on turn 1 because we have Ren in 6. Oh, if this gets Force of Negation, I'm in huge trouble though. I didn't think about that. I mean, they didn't have it, so it doesn't matter. Wow. Well, that's a big deal. They kept a one-laner and didn't get there. Well, they drew the second land, and it happened to be a basic. If they block, I'm going to kill it. They did not block. So I can cast the Bone Crusher, but I don't think I want to do that. Well, it's a 4-3. I think I need to get pressure down. So I am going to cast it. Even though I'm losing value on the stomp side, I think the pressure is worth it. It's not like we don't have more removal in hand. Okay, well they just scooped, that works. Yeah, I don't think angering's good. I think abrading is where we want to be, just killing off creatures rather than trying to wipe the board. I think the wiping the board's to our disadvantage. I think by the time we wipe the board, the game's probably over because they have too many cards in hand. Though, like, a lot of time abrading their creature's not going to be very good. And if we draw anger, we can just not play our creatures out. And we can play our planeswalkers out. Or like Ooze becomes a 4-4. If Bloodbraid Elf dies, it kind of did its job already. Trying to play the Klothys, Ren, Chandra of Glorybringer game. And Ooze can get big enough. Yeah. Let's try it. I think Abrade's a lot better on the play because we can use it to kill Noble. But on the draw, it doesn't do anything. Noble have already done his job. Yeah, like this hand can play into anger. And it has, I can kill Noble. So I'm gonna keep this hand. I think Blood Moon's good against them. I mean, they can fetch basics, but I think even if they do fetch basics, it's not, their deck doesn't perform optimally. And this could be a hand where I let Noble resolve so I can anger, but I also don't want to get turn 2 to Fairy, so I will bolt. Dude, that was a good draw. I'm gonna play the Catacombs because I'm probably gonna need to get a Stomping Ground anyways, rather than a basic mountain. So I don't even want the option to get a basic mountain right now. Alright, so I would assume that they have Icefang Coatl. Which is fine. Hopefully this resolves. If this doesn't resolve, we're gonna have problems. What is this? Is that Icefang? That wouldn't really make sense. It could be Aether Gust. If they have Aether Gust, they should definitely gust this. Okay. I'm a little confused, but... Okay, it is an Icefang. We can kill it next turn. We have the option to kill it. I'm not sure that we should, to be honest. Like, I'm probably fine just chilling out. But do they have another one in hand? That would be my guess. I guess, again, Spell Queller is a concern of mine. Or they could have Ephemerate. I think I just cast the Blood Moon. I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything else this turn. Like, it's gonna tell them to go grab a basic, but I don't know that I'm that concerned about that. Like, the only other thing I'm doing that turn is, like, holding up Bone Crusher Giant and Bolt. Which, like, whatever. Do I want to keep it? Like, I might not want to keep it, because they're going to be able to get fetch here, and they can get another fetch next turn. They can fetch again next turn, and then they're immune. Yeah, I don't think I'm winning the game through this Blood Moon, honestly. I'm just going to put it on the bottom. Yeah, they probably have a path in hand, so then they could, like, path their Coatl. It's Ephemerate. Yep. They're gonna get a lot of value here. I mean, it's a cycle plus an extra card, is what it turns out to be. So it's not the end of the world. Is it optimal? No, but not truly that concerned about it. That I'm concerned about. I know they have Ephemerate in hand. Which Anger works well here. Against that. So does just like holding up removal. Which is gonna cause our Renin 6 to take a lot of damage, but I can also take down Renin 6 and then force them to go ahead and Ephemerate here. And then in response I can Stomp. Can also just Anger here and it kind of works the same way. I guess better yet, I Chandra plus. That's better. Plus I make mana. Take down here. They're gonna go to Ephemerate it. I'm gonna Stomp. I mean, I'm also fine with this. Like, if they want to use their Ephemerate this way, I'm not gonna complain that much. They're not dealing damage to the Planeswalkers. They're drawing an extra card, but I take the loyalty on my Planeswalkers over, honestly. Especially since we have this Anger. The plan of Planeswalkering while having this Anger of the Gods available is pretty nice. Is another Eternal Witness? Okay. Wow, they needed a land drop that badly. ephemerate in their main phase. Oh, so they can get back the ephemerate that's currently in their yard. It's actually obnoxious. Oh, they just got back Ewit. That makes sense too. So I don't really want to anger. Well, okay, that was a pretty good draw. I wonder if they have multiple basic planes. I feel like they probably do. If they don't, I'm just gonna wipe their I mean, I'm gonna find a way to wipe their board either way. That is 9 basic planes. Alright, so I'm just going to ping here. I'm gonna tick up. No, I'll tick down Chandra. I guess I should have tapped differently. Yeah, because there's no way I needed. Yeah, I tapped super bad. It's not that big of a deal, but. Sure. Bounce Blood Moon. I'll recast it. It's fine. They had another basic force. Okay. Is it Eternal Witness? Sure. I guess now a big question here is, so I have access to 7 mana. Do I care about Blood Moon? I'm gonna Bloodbraid Elf. Oh, I meant to kill Teferi first. That's really awkward. Oh well. I definitely meant to kill Teferi first. What was it gonna hit? A Clothis? That would've been really good. If I wasn't a dingus. But now I may as well kill Teferi with combat damage. Or... Oh wow. They cared about it that much? So I really don't care about it, but... That's interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely supposed to play... Well, I don't know if definitely supposed to play Glorybringer is the definition, but... Probably supposed to. If Flaystrand, okay. Bloodman just actually doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm surprised they used Force of Negation there. They put an E-Wit in their hand, that's gross. I believe it is Glorybringer time. Kill the Soul Herder. Oh, I can just double bolt them. I played that game not optimally, but the deck is too good. Alright, that was a really long match. But turns out the deck can go long really well. And I morphed into this like weird control deck. I always had the option for Anger, but I never needed to cast it because the Planeswalkers did so well. If they played more to the board with like jamming more Coiling Oracles and things like that, then the Anger would have been better. But I just didn't need to cast it, so didn't worry about it. Yeah, so hopefully we can keep this up. Alright, here for round 3. On to play. And we can play turn 2 Chandra, so I'm gonna keep it. Outside of Chandra, there's not much gas, but Chandra is very good, so. It's hard to say no to turn 2 Chandra, no matter what you're playing against. It's not as good against Burn, but it's still pretty good, pretty solid. That is a Rift Bolt. So they don't have a creature draw unless they have an Eidolon in hand. Alright, we do really need to draw some gas though. If they use double burn spell to kill Chandra, I think I'm pretty fine with that. I can't cast Run, otherwise I would, but I also don't really need it. That would have been, that's a spell I would not want to draw in this matchup, so I'm fine with that just going away forever. See what they do with this Rift Bolt. Okay, so they're gonna use double burn spell to kill Chandra. It's pretty fine by me. As long as we draw some gas. There's a lot of gas in the deck, so hopefully. Oh man, that's brutal. Alright, the Lightning Bolt's not a bad draw, but they don't have a creature draw. Alright, we're still at 20. So we have time. Eidolon, sure. not gonna worry about bolting it right away, because we could draw like Glorybringer or something like that. Like if we draw a Glorybringer, we'll cast it. Yeah, so this will cut them off of Boros Charm and redraws off of Islet. The big question is, do we want to fetch or not? I think the answer is no. We can operate perfectly fine off of double green. And I'd rather not take a damage when we don't have to. So now them drawing Boros Charm and Lightning Helix are just dead draws, which is going to help us out a decent amount. We do still need to draw gas though. That was a good draw. I'm going to play the land first in case we hit a Seasoned Pyromancer off of this. Alright. Bolt's not super exciting, but dealing them damage is fine by me. They used a lightning bolt, okay. That's fine. Our long game is better than theirs, so I'm very fine with this. We can actually cast all the spells in our deck. Our opponent cannot do that. That was probably the best draw in the deck. Drawing a lightning bolt, that's pretty nice. I'm gonna be able to kill this goblin guy. Gonna make sure to exile non-creatures instead of the creatures in case we draw a Scavenging Ooze. A Skullcrack. Sure. That was a good draw. Drawing creatures is exactly what they need here. Hopefully they don't have another Skullcrack. If they have another Skullcrack, we're gonna be in a little bit of trouble. Well, that's a good draw. So we're gonna be able to kill whatever creature. We can't kill them next turn, right? We're one short. Unfortunate. Alright, if they have a second Skullcrack, and then they have another bolt effect, we're gonna die. Alright, let's exert. Kill the Swift Spear. And it should be game. They needed a Skullcrack. They didn't have it, so we should have this. Unless they have double bolt right here. Which I think if they had double bolt, they would just killed us last turn. These creature draws are all top decks by them. Any non-land kills them here. Okay. So they probably had like double Boris Charm or something in hand. We're gonna draw a land, but we're gonna go down to 7 up to 9. And the following turn they were dead. Alright. Let's bring in the Kitchen Finks, the Scavenging Ooze, the Abrades. Not gonna bring in Anger. That's too expensive. The siding things out. Pillage is absolute garbage. And Blood Moon is not great. If we draw a Blood Moon, I think I'd rather draw Run in 6 than Blood Moon. Blood Moon does shut off their white spells though, so maybe we do just keep it. But I think I'd rather have Ren, because it allows us to keep, there are more 2-landers we can keep. And I don't want to spend like my turn 3 playing a Blood Moon typically. It's like, that's kind of rough. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that. You could argue having like 1 Ren 2 Blood Moon instead. But it's not like the Blood Moons do too much in the matchup. It's not nothing. What's up, Cam? This hand doesn't have like top endy, but as a kill spell it has a lot of mana. So I'm gonna keep it. We can cast anything we draw while also killing their creatures, which I think is a fine spot. Lightning Bolt on top. Sitting in a hospital parking lot waiting for your Verona test. Oh, hopefully you don't have it. I'm not gonna play Arbor Elf. I'm gonna maximize our life total. So I'm gonna fetch here because if one of the goblin guys hits a basic mountain and adds it to our hand, we're in big trouble. And there's no world where I'm not bolting here. Only one other person in the department. I know, you guys got like super exposed to it. So only one is decent. Obviously one is not 0, but I am going to abrade the goblin guide. Again, trying our best to maximize our life total. Storybringer. Okay. Alright. I'm going to play double Arbor Elf here. Getting Ren and 6 down doesn't really matter. And this is, if we get to untap, this allows us to not have to shock in Stomping Ground. Like if both of our Arbor Elves, we get to untap with them both. And if not, then I can still get Vernon Catacombs tapped and play Chandra that way. Alright, so they drew the second land, so they can do things. Where are they bolting? They're bolting an Arbor Elf? Interesting. I'm pretty fine with that. I guess in order for me to kill this Swift Spear, I have to shock myself and go to 8. Never mind, I don't have to do that. I mean, is it still worth it to go to 8? 8 versus 10. They probably have a Boros Charm in their hand, so it puts us at 6. Compared to 8 down to 4. I mean, 8 is 3 bolt effects away, and 10 is 4 bolt effects. So there is like a decent difference. Yeah, I think this is worth it. Sure. Man, their creature draw is so heavy. I really need to draw like a Kitchen Finks or something. A Scavenging Ooze. Scavenging Ooze would be pretty nutty. Is that better? No, I need to win a Chandra. I don't want to expose myself to a Searing Blaze yet. Which they probably don't have because they chose to double bolt Arbor Elves instead of Searing Blazing, but then again, they would have to draw a land in order for Searing Blaze to be good. Alright, well, if we don't hit a Kitchen Finks this turn, we are dead. Or an Ooze. Because they definitely just have another burn spell in their hand. Man, their draw is really strong. Alright, Kitchen Finks. That is not a Kitchen Finks. This has to be Kitchen Finks. Scavenging Ooze is not good enough here. That's not gonna do it. As in case they have Goblin Guide as their last card or something, I'm gonna hold back. But I assume it's a bolt effect. Do we get one more turn? Double Rift Bolt. So it has to be... Ooze? Does Ooze do it? Ooze does not do it. I think we're just dead. It's definitely not that. Unfortunate. Oh, there's the Ooze. But it wasn't gonna be enough. We could only gain 3. We could get up to 5, but not 7. That was pretty close. I'm not gonna change. The Ran 6 literally sat in my hand, did nothing. But I don't think that's how it always is. See how game 3 goes. This hand is gas. Oh, I meant to make red. Oops. I guess it doesn't matter. It actually works out better this... Oh wait, no it doesn't. I need to make sure I have double red so I can't actually cast this extra Utopia Sprawl in my hand. We can cast our whole hand next turn, which is pretty nice. Do they keep a one-lander again? It's not working out very well for them. Someone tells me they're not gonna block, but also every time they're gonna deal themselves a lot of damage with this, and we're just gonna beat down with these Finks. So make red. This will tap for that. Red and 6. Grab this Foothills. Alright. We're at 20, we have the beatdowns, we have a lot of mana. We got a bolt in hand. I would say if they targeted run in 6, I would really wonder about what they're doing. They exiled another Rift Bolt. I think, let's see here, how do I want to do this? I think I attack first. I don't want to, yeah. And if I'm concerned about life, I can bolt my own Finks. I don't think that's worth it though. I think I'd rather just bolt them. They're dealing themselves so much damage that... And I don't care enough to... Like, this puts them to 5. I can't... There's nothing I could really cast off of this Pyromancer, but... That works. The one-lander worked out game 2 for them, but not game 3. I will take it. We are 3-0 now. Hopefully, let's just keep the train going. Alright, we're here for round 3 on the play against the Sewer Hobo. And definitely a keep. The Blood Moon, very awkward, so we're probably just gonna play Colossus on turn 2. Depends slightly on the matchup, but assuming the Arbor Elf lives. Snow-covered mountain. We're playing against Burn again. The double Stomping Grounds draw against the Burn deck is very awkward. Whoa. I did not expect that. So we're playing against Prowess, not Burn. I guess technically we're gonna be in danger of dying next turn. But I'm not gonna bolt this turn. Blue-red Prowess. Yeah, that's my guess too. I just need to get this Colossus down. If I die, I die. Yep, they're playing Is It Prowess. Oh man. Okay. So the reason I have this stop here is I'm trying to figure out what we want to do. So I can have, so if I Utopia Sprawl this, I can make 5 mana and Glorybringer, but without shocking myself. Or I can Utopia Sprawl Blood Moon Bolt. I think Utopia Sprawl Blood Moon Bolt makes the most sense, because if they don't Manamorphose, they can't cast the other thing, the 3/3. And that also allows me to Colossus and gain life. If they have Mutagenic Growth, I guess it sucks, but I think they would have played that on their turn because it's extra damage. name red here. I'm just gonna go and bolt it now. There's a decent chance we die, but if it happens, it happens. I mean... It would take like 2 bolt effects plus a lava dart, basically. If we don't die this turn, though, I feel pretty solid. Especially if they don't have anything here. Another glory banger. Oh, I was definitely not supposed to exile that. We have scavenging ooze in our deck. Cool. They didn't make me, like, think about whether I wanted to attack with Clothis or not. I really wasn't sure if I was going to or not. Holding it back is I think I was going to hold it back. I was going to just exert. If they were going to let me attack with this, I was going to exert and kill Soulscar Mage, and I was going to hold this back. As it forces them to use some sort of damage on the Arbor Elf in order to get through damage. Which could potentially be a difference between living and dying. Kitchen Finks. Abrades in an ooze. I don't want anger. Like, I think it has the same problem. Like, it's better in this matchup than against Burn. Maybe I do still want it. Or maybe I do want it. I don't want... Even though this deals them damage, I don't... That's not enough. Maybe I do want it. Like, Ren 6 doesn't do anything. And the thing is, in order for them to get through damage, more than likely they're killing our creatures anyways. Ren 6 doesn't do much here. The Kitchen Finks Soulscar Mage interaction is not very fun for us, but that is what it is. I guess we could bring in Thrun instead of Ren 6, because Ren 6 actually doesn't do anything. I think if we spend our turn playing a Ren 6, we're probably gonna die. Whereas at least this thing can just be a roadblock that actually can always block. Does that make sense though? Because like hitting land, like Ren 6 helping us hit land drops is very relevant. I think most of the time it just doesn't do anything though. Which if we're bringing it in here, that probably means we're supposed to bring it against Burn as a marginal upgrade. I need to get behind this hand for sure. We may bolt turn 1 instead of Utopia Sprawling. It really off-kilters us though, so I'm not sure if we'll do that or not. Because if we're not bolting turn 1, then we're not bolting till turn 3. Also, this is Soulscar Maze, so I don't want to play Kitchen Finks on turn 2 anyways. So I'll just bolt this now. I forgot they play that. Renin 6 is very good against that card. So I can cast the Ooze, but I can't cast Utopia Sprawl, which I think is fine. Because next turn I can go Sprawl Finks anyways. And this forces them to have... I guess encouraging them to use Burn right here, right now is not great for us. But they could also, like... I think using our mana efficiently is important. Oh, well, they just didn't have the bolt anyways. Oh, but we can't Utopia Sprawl. If we Utopia Sprawl named green, we're gonna have to shock ourselves at some point, which is not good for us. Well, we could Sprawl and just name red and then discard, like, 2 lands or something. It's not like those lands are really gonna do anything anyways. Yeah, let's do it that way. Maybe they just never draw a land ever again. It's always possible, right? They drew a land. Oh, and the scry on this is very good too. They put 2 cards on the bottom. So they don't have any bolt effects. I think they would have cast one on the previous turn, I think. Or they'll cast one right now. This is not good for us. We need to draw a lightning bolt. Well, lightning bolt doesn't even do it. Lightning bolt doesn't kill the Stormwing because they can flashback lava dart. What this is 8 damage. 9, 10, 11. So if they have like any spell in their hand, we're dead. But they've also missed a bunch of land drops, so they have spells. The best bet for me is to probably Season Pyromancer and try to draw a basic forest. That's like a forest, but it's not what we need. We're pretty dead. They just flashback Lava Dart and we lose. In response to us eating or whatever. The not blue versions are a lot easier to deal with because of the we can block non-flying creatures. There's no flying in this deck besides Glorybringer. Alright. I forgot about Sprite Dragon, so Ren is 6 definitely coming back in. As at least the one of. I think just one. I don't think I want multiple. If I draw multiple, feel bad. But now we get to be on the play. Which is nice. Man. The odds of the Arborels just dying are so high, so I have to mulligan, which is very sad. If that hand had a second land in it, it would have been insane. Well, this hand is just very good in general. I'm going to put away a land. That is a Swift Spear. I wonder why people are gut shy. Like, he's using his fire action spells in his main phase, which means they don't have Stormwing Entity. Is at least where my brain goes. I think I'm gonna discard the Bloodbraid Elf, just so that I can have this ooze that's gonna gain a bunch of life. Well, I'm glad I did, because I didn't draw a 4th land, so I can't Bloodbraid Elf. Hopefully we draw a 4th land next turn. The reason I bottomed the land and the 3rd land out of the opening hand was because I planned on Pyromancering and discarding cards anyways, if we didn't draw the land. And this is a lot of looks at drawing a 4th land, and I'd rather have the extra 1/1s. Double res, so can't cast Stormwing Entity. That's nice. See if there's a crash through. Lava Dart, okay. And we can still just chum block. That is really aggressive. I don't think I block. I don't see a reason. Like, do I care about gaining 2 life that much? I think the answer is no. Is 9 versus 11. I'm gonna be gaining life with the ooze anyways. Yeah, I'm just not gonna block. draw a land there. I mean, I can stomp. I don't want to stomp. I think I ooze. I just want to gain a life right now, and I'm gonna not attack. I'm gonna pass and chump block with the Pyromancer. I want to play the ooze that turn because if I don't draw a land next turn, I can still use all my mana. I think it's a mana efficiency thing right here. But I assume they have like a bolt or something for this ooze. But if they're using a bolt on an ooze instead of my face, I think I'm pretty happy. Lava Dart, that's fine. Sure, you made my ooze really small. I can still just chump block with this Pyromancer. Yeah, I'm gonna chump block now. Alright, we drew a land that's huge for us. I am going to use my stomp here. I want to make use of the red mana anyways. And I don't plan on blocking, which means I should just attack. Like, even if he, like, just untaps attacks, I'm not blocking because I think they have another Lava Dart. And I don't think Lava Dart's gonna kill me. Like, their hand would have to be absurd. I think if I just untap with this ooze, I'm in such a good spot anyways. And if they have a bolt, they'll use it here anyways. Alright. I really wonder what was in our opponent's hand to make them use the lava darts the way they have. The way they did. But, you know, I'm not going to question it too much. We're 4-0. Off to a very, very good start. And just keeping the train going. Alright, here for our 5th match. We are on the draw. I've been keeping the hands with a 2-drop into a 3-drop. The only parts, but I think I'm actually gonna mulligan this one because we don't have a fetch land. So the Renaissance doesn't actually accumulate value unless we draw another land, and we don't want to draw another land. And we had double Clothis, which is basically a mulligan in and of itself. So I'm gonna mulligan. This hand doesn't have anything. Mulligan again. This is the best hand we've seen, so I'm gonna keep it. I think I'm gonna put back Ooze Land. Yeah, let's put back Ooze Land. If they kill, so this makes it so that if they kill Arbor Elf, it's not as great. But the alternative is putting back the Arbor Elf itself, and I don't want to do that. Well, I'm glad I didn't put it back because they're not interacting with what we're doing. Sucks drawing another land, but can't control that too much. We put 2 bad cards on the bottom, so I don't want to fetch. Hopefully we draw Blood Moon. I guess we kind of need to draw this exact turn. It's hard to tell if our first hand would have been good enough. It only had the 1 pillage in it, so. Alright, they found a Tron land they needed, it looks like. It wouldn't surprise me if they have the tower in hand. Red, untap, Chandra. I probably can breathe a sigh of relief because we did not have Blood Moon in hand or Pillage. If we were able to cast like Blood Moon that turn, it would have been maybe not exactly lights out, but pretty close. Yeah, so like Wormcoil is just super hard to beat for us. I guess I'll fetch. We'll grab another forest. Put it here. So if we flip over a Glorybringer, we can't cast it, but we can cast anything else. So we'll do it like this. Yes. So let's stomp them. Then we will untap the land and cast the giant. I'm not gonna bolt them. I don't see a point in doing that. Oh, they're attacking me? I don't care. This probably means they have Ugin, which means we're just dead. Can't beat Ugin. I also cannot beat that. Alright. We got Trond. Our Moldify wasn't bad, but just the cards we had in our hand are not what you want in the matchup. Like our first hand would have been better. Probably not, it wouldn't have been good enough, but it would have been better. We want to be able to kill artifacts, so Abrades and Cindervines. Oozes aren't very good. Typically I trim a Pyromancer. Like, it helps you dig. Nah, it's too good for digging. Sometimes I cut one, I trim. Just because sometimes it's not super good. But typically, I don't do that. I like trim on bolts. I still like run at 6 because sometimes you want to keep a 2-lander that also happens to have Blood Moon and Pillage in it. So it expands your range of keepable hands. Bone Crusher might be... I think Bone Crusher is better than Bolt. Alright, hopefully we can draw some Blood Moons. His hand does not have Blood Moon, but we can sift through our draws with Pyromancer, and then we can play a Bloodbraid Elf, which I think is good enough. So that's a lot of draws and a lot of looks at Blood Moon or Pillage. And they are incentivized to like kind of search for a hand with a forest in it because of Blood Moon, because they have things like Wilt postboard. So they actually do kind of want a basic forest. So they may mulligan with that in mind, especially on no draw. gonna continue thinning my deck. When we're gonna be looking at so many draws, it's not super relevant, but it does add up. Yep, see, so they can't threaten Tron here. They have turn 4 Tron, but not turn 3 Tron. Which is very important for us. That was a very good draw. I think here... I'm gonna cast Bloodbraid, and then next turn I will Chandra Pillage. But the reason I'm going to Bloodbraid is because I can also hit a... I can hit a Braid and it'll be effective here. Killing Expedition Map would be nice. Also, having the extra pressure from this being a 3-2 haster is important. Or we can just hit a Pillage off the top, that works too. I'm not gonna worry about the forest, I'm just gonna keep them off lands in general. That was a very good hit off of Bloodbraid. Tower Star, sure. I'm not gonna worry about Chandra Pillage, I'm just gonna bash in. It's not like they can get Tron next turn, it's not possible. Alright. Pretty clean. On the draw, I think Ren does actual nothing, whereas Bolt can close the game, so I think I'll make that trade out. There are just times where you just want to top deck a Bolt. Like, Ren does help animate Clothis, but I'm not as worried about that. It's not like they're interacting with our board that much. Well, this has turn 2 Blood Moon, so definitely keeping. Not remotely close. So if I play Arbor Elf, they could Walking Ballista, which would really screw us. So I'm just gonna do this. I'll play it safe. Alright. And here we're gonna Blood Moon. We don't have double red, but we'll get it eventually. It's a lot easier to get double red than double green. Though with this hand, maybe we're supposed to prioritize double red. They still went and got Urza's Mine, which might mean that they have a O-Stone, or they just have Basic Force in their hand. Blast Zone, okay. Oh, they have another map, sure. Normally I would want to play the second Blood Moon, but they can't even crack this, get Forest, and then Nature's Claim and still have 7 mana. So I'm gonna play the Arbor Elf and just pass. This holds up a Braid. Because I think... Yeah, they're not even searching up a Forest. I feel like they have... I mean, they either have the Forest or have O-Stone. Which, if they have O-Stone, I feel like they would have played it already. Well, there's the Mine. Okay. Is this gonna go get O-Stone? Is that the plan here? Okay, well that Karn is just very dead. Do I worry about... we don't have that much red mana, so I am gonna bolt it. In case I draw something that makes me not want to cast Bloodbraid Elf. Yeah, I mean, I guess they could absolutely go Nature's Claim Tron, but they haven't searched a basic forest. I think I need to apply pressure. I'm just gonna attack with the Arbor Elf. Okay, well there's green mana. Okay. They don't have green. This is working out pretty well. Drawing Pillage is nice here. We know they have another tower in hand, so I'm gonna nab the power plant. This will play around a Wilt of some sort. And yeah. It turns out Blood Moon is pretty good against the Tron deck. There's a basic forest, but they don't have Tron. Okay, they have another redraw. I guess they're drawing toward... If they revealed a Walking Ballista, they could have made it so Colossus couldn't attack if I bricked on my draw step. This matchup overall is just very good, though. I mean, when you have 3 Pillage and 3 Blood Moon main deck, the matchup's gonna be pretty good. Especially once you know what to mulligan for. Yeah. We were 5-0. And yeah, just steamrolling with this deck. It's just so good.